Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over all 16 tasks of Chapter 1 for the Seal of Kurandara campaign. So this is basically going to be a new weekly video that we'll be doing midway through every single week. That'll essentially go over the 16 tasks for the given chapter of a campaign. These will be put into a playlist of each of the 10 for every single one of the specific campaigns so that you can reference them at any point during the campaign. One interesting things about campaign tasks that are a little bit different from most of the other features within Gems of War is that this does carry over from week to week. For the duration of the campaigns, all the 16 tasks that we keep getting for a total of 160 by the end of the campaign can be done at any point before the campaign actually ends. So you essentially have 10 whole weeks to go do this. As long as Chapter 10 has not ended yet, you can still get all of these done. So yeah, and this is basically just going to be quick videos that essentially go over all 16 tasks on the given week, basically, so you can get them done very quick. I think it took me a little over an hour to get them done, and this will just kind of be a brief way to the quickest methods to get every single one of these done. And at the end of it, we would go over whatever new thing ended up coming in from the campaign pass, as well as how to get it, even if you're playing free to play at a later point, so that you'd still have it for reference. But anyways, let's get into all of the 16 tasks. So first task, you have to go and win an explore run in Maugrim Woods at difficulty 1 or higher. Easiest way to do this: go to Maugrim Woods, go to explore, which is the location you have to do it. Do it on any low difficulty, 1, 2, or 3, and simply click continue and just go run it with a quick kill team. This one you can see is going to be used for a lot of them. I will be kind of just mentioning for every single one. This one is used for bronze level 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 10, silver 4, and gold 1 and 2. And it is basically any bow weapon in the entire game that doesn't block Rowan, followed by Rowan, Mirage Queen, Leprechaun with Warden Hero class, and Green-Blue Banner. All those are really specific as it covers various tasks. And yeah, ends up quick killing all this. All you'd have to do for this very first task is go through the entirety of Maugrim Woods, do it on a low level rarity, kill it out, and you'll be good to go. Task number 2, win any battle 4 times using the Wolf's Banner. Wolf's Banner is the Green-Blue Banner. To set your banner, just go over to Banners, and it is this one right over here, the green-blue one. If you don't already have this unlocked, you complete it out. You get it from owning the Maugrim Woods Kingdom. So as soon as you do that, you'll have this, and then you can go and use it in a team and just win 4 battles, and you'll be good to go. Same way, you would just use this team to quick kill explore, and you'll be good to go on that. Number 3, same exact thing, essentially. Win 4 battles using a hero, using the Warden Hero class. So Warden Hero class is unlocked from completing out the Maugrim Woods questline as the very final thing that you end up getting. You just go to classes and set your class to Warden, and similarly, just quick kill explore and do that 4 times, and boom, you'll be good to go, and you already have that done, all of which this team has overlap for. 4, something that we don't normally do, craft green summoning stones in Soulforge. So this is a feature that you probably don't really touch that often, as crafting weapons is better. However, if you go over to Soulforge and you go over to troops, there are these summoning stones, and they have different things every single week. And basically, you have to open up one of these green ones, which will cost you 100 souls and 50 of the little emerald in order to go do. And you can easily just get that off the dungeons for free whenever the green day ends up showing up, and you'll be good to go to have that task done. Do keep in mind you can skip tasks: bronze at 50, silver at 100, and gold at 150. However, there are none this week that are really worth doing so, as the 50 gems is worth a lot less than this, so you might as well just open up one of these and just get it completed that way, and just simply open it up and you'll be good to go. Task number 5, win any battle with your hero using a bow weapon. Bow weapons are a typing of weapon that was added as of a few patches ago, where we have types to weapons now. And basically all you have to do is go to weapon and click underneath the weapon type of bow, and anything underneath this category is what will count. If you need something super cheap, you can of course block out your Rowan and end up putting something like that. However, basically any option that doesn't block your Rowan would be most ideal, and you basically just quick kill with a Rowan team and similarly be good to go. And just do that 4 times in explore, and you'll be able to get it done. Next, open event keys. This is pretty straightforward. You go over to keys and simply open up 2 event keys, and again, this is not worth skipping for 50 gems, since 2 event keys you can end up opening for only 30 gems. Alternatively, if you do not have any event keys currently, another way to get them is if you go under shop and you go over to the resources. What page is it normally? I think it's on resources. All the way to the left here. I already bought it this week, so it's not showing up. There's a Spoils of War offer. Yeah, it is this page. but I already bought it, so it doesn't show up. But underneath resources all the way to the left, if you haven't already bought your 10 for the week, there should be a Spoils of War over here. It's 180 glory, and it will give you one event key as well as a few other drops. However, the event key alone is already worth the 180 glory that it costs. And if you just need 2 of those real quick, you can easily just get a little bit of glory, throw it into there, and boom, you got your event keys. Alternatively, you could just do some guild task underneath the green task, and you'll get some event keys as well at various points throughout this task. So pretty easy to just get them, open your 2 keys, be good to go, and that task will be completed. Next up, earn souls from battles. You have to end up doing 80 for the 7th task. Easiest way to do this is to do any variant of a soul farming team. You can end up doing that in any explorer that you want to, and just go to something like a super weak explorer and essentially just quick kill it with a soul farming team, and you should end up reaching the 40. One specific team that you can end up using for that is a phylactery team. You sacrificial priests end up killing it out and basically just one-shotting it out, and ends up gaining max amount of souls. This specific one does end up using Ferris Ra. However, you can use any necromancy option, and basically just use a dragon soul, use phylactery, use pretty much anything, quick kill with whatever you want to quick kill with, and boom, you just have all the souls you want. Alternatively, you can also do this over several battles. Since it's 80 souls and you'll be getting some amount of souls by default per battle, you can just quick kill with a rowing team and just do a little bit of explore that way. However, you can get it done pretty much in a single battle with enough soul bonus, since there are things that have 50% as well as Ferris Ra, which of course has 150%. So if you just use necromancies in those, you'll be able to get it done in a single battle, which would take under a minute to do. Similar to under a minute, next one we have for task number 8 is to go earn 5 glory. 5 glory being an exceptionally low amount. Once again, we can end up using the Rowan team to end up completing this out. Go to casual PvP and repick until you find a very weak battle. Alternatively, you can also try finding a firebomb battle and end up doing it that way. But basically repick until you can find a battle that can be one shot. I believe my PvP rating is a little bit higher, so it's a little bit harder right now to find a easy one. But as you can see right here, after several repicks, you'll find an ultra weak battle that you can easily just one shot with a Rowan team. And then you simply just go your Rowan team, kill it out, boom. And you just do that twice or 3 times depending on what your glory gain is, and you'll have all the glory you need to go and get that out. Alternatively, you can just win a normal PvP battle if you so choose, and the other best way is this, of course, try finding Firebomb that has 5 glory. If you can find one of those, you can get it done in a single battle, and those are, of course, also very easy, and you can use whatever team you want if you end up doing it that way. Next up, we have ourselves a Maugrim Woods champion. Win any battle using Maugrim Woods team. So this you'll have to use 4 Maugrim Woods. You are allowed to repeat them though. Easiest way to do this is to go and do this for, again, a very low quick kill explorer. You could do this on something like Explore 1 or any similar low difficulty, and you can end up just using any team that uses a bunch of Maugrim Woods troops. I made this a little bit cheaper than some of the other ones we could have possibly done, but it's basically just the War and Peace weapon. They end up getting as you go through quest lines. A Moonsinger with Empower, which is an ultra rare, which feeds you a bunch of green. You then cast War and Peace. You then one-shot the entire enemy team. Boom, you're good to go. Do that 4 times, and you've gotten the task completed. And you are allowed to use repeats. Using repeats does still count as long as all pure Maugrim Woods. Do keep in mind it is required to use Warden in this team, as your hero does need to count as Maugrim Woods as well. So do be mindful of that. However, you are allowed to use repeats. You can use 2, 3, literally 4 if you really wanted to, of the same troop. For example, one way that you could go for is Spirit Fox, if you want to go 4 times Spirit Fox and one shot that way. However, it is quicker to do Moonsinger into War and Peace. However, you could theoretically do 4 times Spirit Fox, and it will count towards the event. So you have a couple different options that you could use, but this is quicker if you're just going for sheer speed. And the final 10th bronze task is complete a delve. Easiest way to do this is to go to your level 20 delve if you are maintaining one at level 20. Alternatively, if you have upgraded all of your delves, the best place to go is City of Thieves and do this at level 50. And once again, you can use a Rowan team. You don't have to use the same Rowan team. You can use whatever Rowan team you want here, of course. It is a blue-purple restriction, so all the normal components that you put into a Rowan team is usable here. So just run this down, head directly to the boss room, since it just matters if you complete it. You don't have to do every single room. So you can just do the first battle, do the second battle, do the third, and then boom, you're done. Of course, you can do all of them if you so choose, and if you're already doing these as a daily, you'll pretty much just get this done automatically without even needing to go out of your way at all. So pretty straightforward there. So next up, let's move over to the silver tasks. Silver tasks are, of course, a little bit harder. They go bronze is the easiest, silver as the mid-range, and then gold as the harder ones. And some of these actually do end up taking multiple days. Like, for example, this very first one, we have to go complete out dungeons. So this one specifically will have to be 2 2 days long, so do be mindful of that if you're not doing all these tasks for a while, that it does have basically a 2-day delay. Though since it's the very first one, it shouldn't matter too much, since if you're just doing your daily dungeons, it would just get done automatically after 2 days. Just make sure you go and claim your tasks, because you do need to make sure you claim them every single time, because they will not auto-claim into the next one. You do specifically have to go to that menu and claim them underneath the campaign menu. Otherwise, it will not give you the next task. But anyways, you simply just to get it from your daily dungeons, just do all 3 dungeons, boom, do that 2 days in a row, and it will be completed. Task number 2 for silver, we have to go and defeat Amnesias. This might seem like a rather hard thing to do. There are 3 ways that you could basically go about this. The one that I would advise is just passively get it done through the World Lore event. Through the World Lore event, we will be able to find Amnesia, as you can see literally right here, it says Amnesia, and you'll be able to go and complete these out by killing it out. You'll have a guarantee Amnesia in these battles, and as you're basically just going through a World Lore event, you'll be able to go and find yourself 3 Amnesias. A lot of these events that we have every single week will be related very heavily to whatever the kingdom is, whatever the event are. So, of course, this week is very heavily focused on daemons and as well as Maugrim Woods, so pretty much every single one of these tasks is also focused on that, and you can normally get them done passively through various things within the game, and this is where you can end up doing it. However, there are 2 other options that you can end up doing. One option is go to PvP and keep repicking in casual PvP until you find Amnesia in a thumbnail. This probably won't work too good initially, especially with something as high rarity as an Amnesia. However, Amnesias that you find in a PvP team do count. So if someone has an Amnesia set, or even 3 Amnesia set, if they happen to have a lot of Amnesia, it will count. This isn't really as advised because, for one, it's a high rarity thing, and people probably aren't setting their defend teams yet to help out with campaigns. As time goes on and as we have more campaigns, people will probably be more in tuned to actually setting their defend teams to things that are really helpful for completing out the campaigns. However, since Amnesia is kind of high rarity, even if people are kind of noticing that, they might not necessarily be able to set it on their defend team because they might not own it. However, the next best method is go to Explore and go to Blighted Lands. This isn't really too advised of a method, but you can go and do Explore 12 difficulty with whatever team you normally use for that and kill this out. This isn't as advised as doing the World Lore event. However, there is a chance every single time you go for the Mythic Boss battle that Amnesia will be your opponent, and doing it there will count as an Amnesia kill. And going through this several times, you'll end up getting all your Amnesia kills that you end up needing for the 3 to go to the next task. So that's all you'd have to do for that. However, World Lore event passively through just completing the World Lore event is the best way to go about it. Next up, match green gems 300 times in any battle, or I believe it's for 300 total mana. This is really easy to do with Truffle Team. A couple of different locations you can do this. However, I believe I ended up just doing off Explore 12. The other thing would be a really high level faction. However, just go to any kingdom, go to Explore 12 difficulty, and yeah, I guess we could do Keizo. Well, it doesn't really matter what actually do in the battle, but go to any 12 difficulty kingdom and go use this team. So this is Forest Troll, Double King Gob Truffle, and any weapon in the game. I guess we might actually show this one because this one's pretty funny, just because of how well it ends up working out. But basically, all you have to do to get this rolling is just go get your Forest Troll up and then cast it, and then basically just keep doing Truffle and get your infinite Truffle loop. You'll have Green Storm off of your hero if you're using any of them that have a Green Storm start, which you should be doing. And as long as this doesn't miss, we should pretty much have infinite loop and be good to go. So you just keep casting Truffle, you keep feeding your mana right back, and as you can see, we keep getting a lot of green every single time we do this. And you just keep doing this over and over again, and over the course of a single battle, you'll end up getting enough green that you would have easily capped out the 300 mana that you need to accumulate, specifically off of green. And you'll just have an infinite loop here. Make sure to cast Forest Troll as many times as you possibly can, as that's where you're gaining a good bulk of your green, even though the Truffle is doing it as well. And by the end of the battle, you will easily have all the green you have, and boom, you would be done with it within a single battle. And if you somehow didn't get it from that battle, you just simply do another battle, and then boom, you'll have all the greens you need to move on to the next task. So for number 4 task, defeat 3 treasure gnomes, not including battle crashers or Vow Ravens. So treasure gnomes, these are things that of course can occur into any battle just randomly. The easiest way to do this is to simply go and open up 1 vault key. Within a vault key battle, you will be up against 4 gnomes, 3 of which are treasure gnomes, and these will count as the treasure gnome requirement. This is the absolute easiest way to do it and the advised way of doing it. If you don't currently have a vault key, there are plenty of events that do give it out. The next one will be this Friday, Friday during the new delve that is coming out. So if you don't currently have any, you'll be able to get one then to go and complete it out. But just simply use a vault key, boom, you'll be good to go. That is definitely the much preferred method, as it will get it done in under a minute. Alternatively, you can spam Explore 1, 2, or 3 difficulty with the Rowan team over and over and over again. Like many things that Rowan team just works insanely good for, but you can just spam it out until you eventually get enough. However, given that there is no vault event or anything like that this weekend or for a while, it's since we just had one recently, that's not really as advised. It's going to be quite time consuming. So just get your hands on a vault key, use that vault key, and it'll be done pretty much instantly at that point. Lastly, we got ourselves to 2 gold tasks. These tend to take the absolute longest. However, both of them can be done pretty passively this week, given that what the requirements are. So for the very first one, we got to go kill 44 daemon enemies. So as far as this is easiest to do, once again, similar to the Amnesia one, within the Ward lore event. A lot of the enemies that we're going to be having throughout these battles do count as daemon. If I'm not mistaken, almost all of them, if not all of them, actually do count as daemon. So here we have 4 daemon, here we have 4 daemon. So yeah, they might actually all be pure daemon. I knew there was a lot, but they might quite literally be pure daemon for every single one. So you'll easily be able to get a lot of daemon kills simply by doing the Ward lore event. And this is like the Amnesia one, can just be passively done through the Ward lore event. So just do it that way, be the easiest way to get it done. Alternatively, if you don't end up wanting to do it that way, the next place to go is Sinner Mirage. Sinner Mirage, I believe, is the highest ratio of daemons as far as any explorer, and you will normally find a really high amount of daemons. As you can see right here, we're up against a 4 times daemon team, and once again, quick kill it with Rowan, as with pretty much everything. So yeah, you can just do that on Explore 1, 2, or 3 difficulty, and you'll also be able to get them all done. That's technically quicker than doing the Ward lore event. However, if you're doing the Ward lore event anyways, you can get it done passively through the Ward lore event without needing to necessarily go out of your way. And lastly, for the second gold task, another pretty easy one, kill 66 purple enemies. So easiest way to do this is once again, you can just do it passively through the Ward lore event or literally any battles. Obviously, every battle that you're going to be up against will have some amount of purple, and since this is the last task of the week, you'll easily get it done passively by just, killing stuff, since there'll be purples in pretty much every battle you do. However, there are 2 quick ways to do this. Karkaroth has a really high amount of purple since it is a pure purple kingdom, and you're normally going to have multiple purples here. As you can see, we are up against 3, and alternatively, given that daemons are mostly purples, you can do it passively through the Ward lore event as well as technically passively through literally everything, but there's generally a really high concentration of purples. As you can see here, there's 3 purples. In this other battle, there is actually, this one only has 1, but still, you'll pretty much any battle you do would end up giving you some amount of purple. So either just quick kill Karkaroth with the Rowan team, or just get it passively pretty much from any battles that you would end up doing. And that is all the tasks. And at that point, you would have every single task completed and good to go. Every single task, of course, will be just laid out in the description if you just want to go and view them there. And lastly, since, of course, after all this, we do end up getting something for it. So there are 2 different things you end up getting, depending on how much or if you bought the pass or not. So if you did end up buying the pass, you do get this Devil's Bane. But if you haven't, you still get something. You get the artifact upgrade. So this artifact upgrade will now be permanent stats that will last through the duration of this campaign. This applies regardless if you did or did not buy a pass. And as you can see, currently it is plus 5 HP, and then next week it'll be 10, and it has a bunch of other stats as we progress forward. But this does apply pretty much everywhere. The only place that this does not apply is Arena. However, this does apply to PvP, it applies to Guild Wars, it applies to Delves, and mostly you'd be using this for Delves. That's probably where it's going to have the biggest amount of impact. By the end of it, you actually have basically the equivalent of an entire potion effect. So ends up working out pretty well just to kind of have a little bit extra burst for that, if nothing else. But it's basically just a little bit small amount of stats over time. Nothing really too huge, but still pretty helpful to have. But other than that, if you did buy the pass unfortunately is a bit paid walled. It does cost $10, however it lasts for 10 weeks, so it's basically $1 a week. And this week we end up getting Devil's Bane, as well as a few other kind of knick-knack resources in a new title. As far as this new title, if you are playing free-to-play, this title will come into the game 3 months later. So in about 3 months from now, you'll be able to go get this title. This is pretty much like any other title or emoji or anything else added to the game. These always come out, and you'll be able to get them for gems after the fact, and that'll just cost you 25 gems or so when it ends up coming out in about 3 months from now. So basically, just like any of them, just comes out that same way. This weapon's going to be a little bit more annoying to get. It will be in Soulforge for 300 diamonds, 300 green shards and the 300 blue shard in order to go and craft that out as far as those jewels. And this will be available about 5 to 7 months from now whenever we have the next Maugrim Woods event. It'll specifically be whenever we have another Maugrim Woods event, but of course, since we have so many kingdoms, it takes a very long time before Maugrim Woods event rotate around. So do be wary that it will be a very long time before you can get this weapon. However, this weapon is completely useless. It deals damage to an enemy, and if there is a 4% chance to kill them, boosted based on daemon enemies. Even if this was 10%, it wouldn't really be that viable because it would only be able to cap out at a 50%. Currently, it only caps out at a 20%, which is exceedingly low. Even if that was its base value, that'd be pretty bad. It also gets to do a couple additional effects, which I'll actually just go into the menu over here to go and show that then. So I believe it was called Bane. So let's just bring that out. Devil's Bane. So right over here. So if we go over to here, we can see what its 4 perks are. So it ends up gaining 2 attack, eliminate 1 magic from the first enemy, deal 5 damage to the first enemy, and then blesses itself, with the only useful one there being the bless. So overall, this weapon is completely dead content. You basically just get it for completionist purposes, and hopefully if it's ever used for a kingdom, just to kind of have it for that. And to basically make it so you don't have to craft it with Soulforge with those resources I mentioned earlier. But overall, it's a pretty lackluster weapon. Obviously, some weeks we'll have some pretty bad things off the adventure board, or not off the adventure board, but off the pass. Some weeks are definitely better than others, with the main one being the Mythic all the way at the end, being the most enticing one. During this time of the video, I would normally show teams and stuff for them, but only if they're viable, and Devil's Bane is definitely one of those things that is not viable whatsoever, so there really isn't much to show. It's just a dead content weapon that you're never going to use. You basically just get it, and then it just stays there forever. There's no situation where you would actually use that, even if you are up against a pure daemon team. But anyways, guys, that is everything for Chapter 1 of Maugrim Woods. You do have literally like 9 more weeks to go and complete this out, so you still have plenty of time. I'll be probably linking a playlist to this video at some point, having the full chapter layout, and have it so there's a way that you can click on to the next one and to the previous one for every single one of them, just to make it a little bit easier to navigate through them if you're going at a later point to go through all these videos. So you can go from 1 to Chapter 2 to Chapter 3, and so on and so forth, since unlike many other events in the game, you have a very long amount of time to technically complete out these tasks. I know a lot of people are probably doing them immediately. Some people probably had them done in like an hour or 2 on a Monday and just paid to bypass that one dungeon one, which I do not advise doing, that one time-locked one. You should generally just do them, because paying gems to bypass these tasks, or at least the ones that we have this week, are a complete waste. I would not advise doing it. But anyways, that's everything for this video. This will be a new weekly thing we'll be doing into the future, just covering them. Hopefully I'll have them a little bit earlier coming out on most weeks, but we will be covering it every single week that actually has a event for it. So basically 10 out of 11 weeks every single time we'll be covering these from now on. But anyways, guys, if you still have any other questions, feel free to leave in the comment section below. Hope this was helpful, and I will catch you guys later. Thank you all so much for watching. Goodbye, everyone, and we'll be back next week for Chapter 2.